Oh, yeah, they need cushion.
Good afternoon. I'd like to call to order the meeting of the Oklahoma City Metropolitan Area Public Schools Trust. First order of business is to approve the minutes of the January 7th meeting. I'd recognize a motion to that effect. So moved. It's been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, sir.
one correction on the minutes. I would ask on item 3, I was recorded as an approved vote, and I was absent at that time. I got here about 3 minutes late, and I was not here for that vote.
Thank you for bringing that up. If you could make that change, please. Any other comments? Seeing none, we'll vote. It's approved. Thank you. Financial reports. You've got the Metropolitan Area Public Schools Revenue and Obligation Report for November 2013. Are there any questions or comments?
No.
Seeing none, I'd recognize a motion to approve.
So moved, Mr.
Been
Chairman.
moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. We'll vote. Approved. Next, we're being asked to ratify the Oklahoma City Metropolitan Area Public Schools Trust payments. Are there any questions or comments? Seeing none, I'd recognize a motion to approve. It's been moved. Is there a second? Second. Moved and seconded. We'll vote. Approved. We now have several change orders. First, we're being asked to approve amendment number 4 to the contract for the OKC Mass program with the consultants ADG Inc., increase of $113,270. Any comments about that, Mr. Todd?
Well, this is just for additional work that we are seeing now. Some of the projects have been split into 2 projects, like Emerson and the class and SAS and those kind of projects are being split, and we have a second project. And then also we've got projects that are coming up. And then also there's a study for Moon Elementary that they've been asked to do for the fund balance that we have. So there's several things in this item.
Very good. Is there a motion to approve? It's been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. We'll vote. Approved. Next item, we're being asked to approve amendment number 1 to the contract for engineering services, contract with Jacobs Engineering, Inc. for Edwards Elementary School stormwater drainage improvements, a decrease of $1,589.
Motion.
It's been moved. Is there a second? Moved and seconded. We'll vote. Approved. Next, we're being asked to approve change order number 3 for John W. Rex Elementary School, an increase of $304,171.85, project ES 35. Any questions or comments?
What is that on again? I forgot.
Excuse me?
What does that change order do to?
Well, it's an increase, and there's several things on here. There's 11 different items. I can hit the substantial items if you'd like.
That'd be great.
Okay.
Okay, I'll hit the substantial items. Item number 1 is acoustical revisions. At the request of the school, additional acoustic wall panels will be provided in the music room. There's also item 2, additional security equipment. At the school's request also, additional security equipment will be installed. And then item 3, wall modifications. The elementary school has requested that there be some nanoglass walls installed in the gym. Then there was also item 4 is HVAC modifications. When this was designed in order to try and reduce costs, there was no HVAC put in the stairwells. And the stairwells need to be conditioned on especially days like today, and we expect the students to use those stairwells a lot. So this is to put that item back in there.
And the reason we're putting these items back in there is because the competitive bid came in significantly lower than what the original budget was. And
That is right. That is absolutely
We
true.
have room, basically.
That is correct.
That's fine. Thank you.
And then item 9 is $5,677 for additional fire dampers that were required as construction began the code inspectors found something that they wanted added.
Okay, thank you.
Other questions?
Mr. Todd, how confident are we that we've got about half of the project left, and I think we've got roughly, 3% of contingency remaining?
We're pretty confident because we've got most of the mechanical things in, all the groundwork, the foundations have been done. You know, we found some obstructions on that, and the structure is up, the roof is on, so we're very confident that we're in good shape.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Not really a question, but a comment. I would just kind of remove my concern about, while we are happy that the bids came in under, I'm concerned about the continuing added items that are not required for construction at the request of the John Rex Board, that the John Rex Board is not paying for. I believe that the additional cost of these items that are not required by the contractor or required by the fire marshal or anything like that, additional bells and whistles, if you will, should be paid for by the board, or at least on a pro rata basis between the board and the MAPS Trust and the TIF.
You want to speak to that, Dennis?
Sure. There was a list of several items that was presented to the staff from the John Rex Board Quality Schools, and Mr. Todd and myself and the city manager met with representatives of the board back in, I think it was late September or early October, to talk about those. And during that meeting, there were some items that we agreed that Maps for Kids would pay for, and there were some other items that we agreed that Quality Schools would pay for. Trustee Decker mentioned the change order limit. Yes, we have to abide by that. We cannot go over 10%. We also won't go over the 12 million that we were that the original amount that and it pretty much coincides that 10% would take us up pretty close to that 12 million. If there are items that come after, if we get to that point of 10%, and there are other items that either need to be done or the Quality Schools wants done, they will be responsible for paying for those items. They're also going to be responsible for paying for, I think there were 3 items that we agreed during our meeting with the city manager that they would pay for. So when those items come up, they will not only pay for the construction of those items, they'll pay for the design of them as well.
Okay, thank you.
Who was privy to that meeting when that agreement was made?
The only people that were in the room were Mr. Todd, myself, the city manager, and Dave Lopez attended the meeting, and Kirk Humphreys attended the meeting.
Other questions? Is there a motion for approval?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Moved. Is there a second? Second. Moved and seconded. We'll vote. Approved. Next item. Being asked to approve amendment number 1 and change order number 1 for Belle Isle Middle School drainage improvements, increase of $8,811. Motion for approval? So moved. It's been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. We'll vote. Approved. Next item is change order number 5 for Rogers Middle School, increase of $27,817. It's been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. We'll vote. Approved. Next item, change order number 6 for Webster Middle School, increase of $62,924. Is there a motion for approval?
So moved, Mr.
Been
Chairman.
moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. We'll vote. Approved. Next item is approved change order number 6 for Taft Middle School, increase of $44,437. Is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
Been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. We'll vote. Approved. Next, we're being asked to approve change order number 10 for Jefferson Middle School, increase of $9,131.53. Is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
It's been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. We'll vote. Approved. Next, we're being asked to recommend the Board of Education of Independent School District number 89 approve change order number 17 for Capitol Hill High School, increase of $8,103. It's been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. We'll vote. Approved. Next item is approve change order number 2 for Class and School of Advanced Studies, Phase 2, increase of $17,520.12. Is there a motion for approval?
So moved, Mr.
Been
Chairman.
moved. Is there a second?
Second?
Moved and seconded. We'll vote. Approved. Final item is approved change order number 8 for Emerson Alternative School, increase of $8,610.54. Is there a motion for approval?
Motion?
It's been moved and seconded. We'll vote. Approved. Okay, we've got 3 schools that were being asked to accept the projects and place the maintenance bonds in effect, and one of which is recommended to the Board of Education of the Independent School District number 89 to do that. I'll accept a motion to approve all 3. Is there a motion?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
It's been moved. There's a second. We'll vote. Approved. Next, we're being asked to approve the expenditure of funds for the purchase of furniture, fixtures, and equipment for Webster Middle School, not to exceed $70,000. It's been moved. Is there a second?
Second?
Moved and seconded. We'll vote. Approved. Mr. Clowers.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, members of the trust. We still have 13 schools that are in construction. 5 of these will be considered for final acceptance early this year. Parmalee Elementary, Jefferson Middle School, Northeast Academy, Capitol Hill, and Northwest Classen High Schools. You accepted Capitol Hill High School just a couple of minutes ago. There are 3 schools nearing completion, Prairie Queen Elementary and Webster and Roosevelt Middle Schools. And then construction is ongoing for 5 schools, John Rex, Columbus at Jackson Elementary, Taft and Rogers Middle Schools, and Emerson Alternative. And in addition to those that I've mentioned, Phase 2 at Class and SAS is also under construction. As far as the I-89 bond projects, construction is ongoing at 16 different locations for classrooms and gyms. Those are West Nichols Hills, Parmalee, Hillcrest, Pierce, Adams, Bodine, Horseman, Kaiser, Mark Twain, Putnam Heights, Southern Hills, Stanwady, Buchanan, Gatewood, Johnson, and Oak Ridge, all elementary schools. Construction is also ongoing at Taft and Spiegel Stadiums, and the architectural contract amendment has been approved to include safe rooms at Heronville, Fillmore, Prairie Queen, Rockwood, and Eugene Field for classroom and gyms, and add Edwards Elementary Gym and safe room. And the revised preliminary report will be due in March. And preliminary plans for Nichols Hills Elementary School gym and safe room are in review by staff. And our next trust meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, February 18th, 3 o'clock.
Are there any questions? Seeing none, we'll move into a presentation of the program. Mr. Todd.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's been a while since you've had an update on what's going on with the program, so I'd like to bring to you today some pictures and some information just to show you all the work that's gone on. Just a real quick recap. This is all the technology money and the transportation money that's been done in the last many years, 12 or so years. And again, this is to revisit the 23 suburban school districts that receive Maps for Kids money. And we have here a summary of what's left. And you can see that a majority of the schools have spent all their money, and a lot of them have just essentially pennies left in their account, with really Putnam City having the lion's share of the remainder of the money. They have till 2017 to apply for this. So it'll be going on for a while, but you can see that there's been a lot of money spent. As far as the status, as Mr. Clowers just mentioned, the 13 schools still under construction, and the admin building is still out there, and then the projects that we've completed. List of completed schools, I won't go through all these. We had handouts for you, but because the building is out of commission right now, they're sitting up there. Oh, do they have them? Okay, I'm sorry, you do have those. So if you have any questions, you can get with us later. And then also, here's a list of schools under construction with the ones in gold to be bid in the first quarter. Other completed projects, bus fleet replacement, and then, as I mentioned, the technology projects, and as many of you, I'm sure, remember, the computers and software that was bought, and the library automation systems, the computer labs, and all those things. So as I said, upcoming projects, we really just have the administration building that was in the original program. With the money that's left over, there will be a couple of other projects, but those are still yet to be determined. So I want to just show you some pictures real quick of some of the transformations that have occurred because of the work with this group. And here's Oak Ridge Elementary, a typical classroom before. Of course, the furniture's been moved out, but there's the after shot after we renovated the space. So you can see it's a dramatic change. And I'll go through some of these kind of quick, but a lot of them will be the same kind of before and after. Here's class and SAS classroom, and there's after. This is a hallway at Sequoia Elementary before and then after. And you can see how that really brightens it up and brings the colors out. This is the entrance to Edwards Elementary before, and there's the project after. And then continuing with Edwards Elementary, here's a typical classroom before, and then there's the renovated space. Some of these may be a little unfair because they are during construction or after some demo's been done, but you can get the general idea of the condition of the spaces, and there's the after at Edwards Elementary. There is the media center at Edwards. There's the administration area at Edwards. And a typical hallway at Edwards Elementary. Roosevelt Middle School, this is not a good picture, but you can see the condition of the walls and floor and how that school was, and this is pretty much a progress picture of what's going on there. The gymnasium at Roosevelt Middle School. And Northeast Academy, there was a little bit of demo done here, but you can see again the general condition of the classroom before, and there's afterwards. That's a refinished floor that was already there. Continuing on with Northeast Academy, there's the cafeteria before, and there's after. Some of these are much more dramatic than others. Here's the gymnasium before, there's after. The big gymnasium at Northeast before, and then after. Auditorium before and after. Just a space there at Northeast, and again, this is during construction, but here's afterwards, after that construction is complete. There's a classroom before, there's after. And not a good picture of the science rooms, but there's the finished product of the science rooms. Another picture of Northeast Academy, and there's after. I believe that's the admin area, part of the admin area. Rogers Middle School, here's a before shot after the furniture was moved out, and there's after. Before, classroom picture, and after. This is before, and this is after. This typical corridor. Another shot of the corridor. This was taken in November. There's the gymnasium at Rogers Middle School. And there's renovated restrooms at Rogers Middle School. Corridor. Classroom. Emerson Alternative, you may have seen that driving by. It took a while to get this one out of the ground. The weather slowed them down a little bit, but here's a current shot of what's going on there. You can see all the structural steel that's up, a different angle. You can see the elevator shaft there on the right, all the structural steel.
Is that the new child care facility?
That's the new addition. Yes, partial part of it. Rockwood Elementary. This is a before shot, and there's after. You can see the additional classrooms that are added on and made to match the original school. We just did a ribbon cutting on that, and that project turned out very well. There's a before shot, and there's after. There's a front view of Rockwood. This is a new play area that was put out there behind the school. New parking. Some of these older schools like Rockwood had very limited parking, especially handicapped accessible parking. You can see the parking that was added back there in the back. This is the renovated admin area. There's typical classroom at Rockwood. And there's the computer lab. This is in final cleanup after construction. Continuing on with Rockwood classrooms. This is a blurry before shot of the cafeteria. And there's an after shot. There's a media center at Rockwood completed. Webster Middle School. This is a new admin area there. See the media center as it's been renovated. Classroom, getting ready to move furniture in there. Renovated restrooms. There's a gymnasium. Taft Middle School. Don't have a whole lot to show you at Taft. There's just an elevator shaft being built there. Taft is still quite under construction, and this isn't a real exciting picture other than to show you there's new rooftop units, and there was a new roof put on at Taft. This was during one of the earlier snows that we had. This is the admin building at Taft. Admin area. Inside the administrative area. Gymnasium. Class and SAS, this is phase 2. If you recall, we're building some parking for students, and there it is. The paving is complete, but the landscaping and the final cleanup still yet to be completed, and we're still waiting on that because the weather's held us up. Some construction ongoing in Class and SAS. Jefferson Middle School has been a pretty dramatic transformation, I think. There's new windows there at Jefferson and doors. This is at the end of the gymnasium, and I know those windows have probably been there since the early 60s. And there's the renovated windows. Here's the entry at Jefferson during construction, so you get an idea of what it was like. And there's the renovated space. A corridor at Jefferson Middle School, and there's the renovated corridor. Another shot of a corridor, and that door right there to the left is to the administrative area. You see that now there's a double set of doors going in that direction. Renovated corridor. So common space under construction, but there's the renovated space. I don't know if you've been to Jefferson, but it is a big school. Renovated corridor. And this is a cafeteria before, and there's after. There's a gymnasium during construction. They're starting to do some of the demolition. This is that gymnasium that had those windows at the end. And there it is complete. You can see on the right there the new windows that we saw on the outside. Another shot. Locker room was renovated. The lockers were repaired and rehabbed and repainted. Classroom. John Rex, probably drive by it a lot, even just coming to this meeting, and been a lot going on with that. You can see the brick on the back is getting real close to being completed. It was about 80% there. It's hard for me to see in this picture, but they're making good progress on that. There's an interior shot of the ongoing construction. An exterior shot from the parking garage looking at the gymnasium. And a ground shot, and you can see the brick is complete on the gymnasium. Go over the bond issue projects real quickly, and I won't go through all this, but there's 4 project groups remaining. We have them in design, we have them under construction, and we have some still to be done. And you can see the ones that are under construction. It's in your handout. And there's the future projects to be done. So just real quickly, Coolidge Elementary, new gymnasium that's been completed. Classroom at Hayes. Van Buren Elementary Gymnasium. Classrooms at Van Buren. Inside of the gymnasium at Van Buren. Hayes Elementary corridor view. S702 bond issue, and you can see it's Wheeler, Monroe, Nichols Hills, and West Nichols Hills. There's West Nichols Hills Gymnasium under construction. Inside shot under construction. S703, Parmalee, Hillcrest, and Pierce. Here's another exciting roof shot at Pierce. Hillcrest Elementary classrooms and gyms. You can see the gymnasium there on the left. Pierce Gymnasium. Parking lot. New drive lane. Pierce. Inside of the gymnasium at Pierce. And typical corridor, I believe those are the smart boards that are getting ready to go into those classrooms, but the space is complete. Again, Hillcrest Gym. Inside shot of the Hillcrest Gym. These gyms are turning out really, really nice. Classroom at Hillcrest. Corridor at Hillcrest. And this is the ongoing construction progress at Parmalee Elementary. S704, Adams, Bodine, Horseman, Kaiser. See Adams under construction. And see the bar joist and the decking on the gym going in at Bodine. Exterior shot of Bodine getting ready to start the brick. It's parking and drive that was put in at Horace Mann. S705, Mark Twain, Putnam Heights, Southern Hills, Stanwaty. See Mark Twain progress of the gymnasium. I believe that's the roof decking they're putting on and getting ready to put the roof on it. Inside shot of the gym. Stanwaty. Inside of the gym. You see the decking starting to go on the bar joist. Putnam Heights isn't quite as far along. This is the pad for the gymnasium. A 706 Buchanan, Gatewood, Johnson, Oak Ridge. Buchanan Elementary, you can see the gymnasium is well under construction. There's a shot of the roof. You can see all the bar joists that are in place ready for the decking. Gatewood Elementary. Johnson Elementary, classrooms and gymnasium. Oak Ridge. Oak Ridge again. Taft Stadium renovations. A lot going on there. I just don't have many pictures, but this is the braces that were put in to brace the original WPA wall that will stay. So that's my update. If you have any questions.
Thank you. In your package, you have the monthly report from ADG and the local business utilization report for the third and fourth quarters of 2013. If there's no questions about that. Comments from trustees?
Well, I would just like to first congratulate the staff, first for the update, and just a lot of times I think, we lose track of how much has been accomplished, but there has been just a tremendous amount of improvement to the facilities, and I think that's a great credit, first to the citizens, but to the staff and a lot of construction workers and folks, and I really appreciate just kind of getting these sorts of pictures and information. A lot of my fellow trustees will remember my reticence about, pouring so much money into the Capitol Hill building. And we did final acceptance today. And just, it really has turned out well. And despite the fact that Capitol Hill is still U.S. Grant's rival, I just would point out that project was completed under budget and a good job was done.
Sorry, Mr. Mashburn isn't here today to enjoy that. The John Rex opposition, I would just speak for myself in saying that it is not opposition to the project. I'm as excited as anybody about the downtown school and the support from the Inasmuch Foundation and other individuals and corporations for that school. But I just continue to be concerned that it's unfair that money that could otherwise be used for other things is going to add what I consider to be bells and whistles at John Rex. And again, I'm not opposed to those additional things. I think that a lot of them were alternatives that we were not able to add, and things that will certainly add to the educational experience at that school. But when we pay for those bells and whistles with MAPS money, that's MAPS money that can't be used for anything else. And if the private foundation that wants those things done, in addition to what MAPS is able to do, then I believe the private foundation should pay for them. So that's my objection. And it's not an objection to the school in and of itself. Other comments? Staff? Yes, Dennis?
I just wanted to note that during the governor's State of the State address yesterday, Trustee Francisco's alma mater was mentioned as what a great job that has been done there to improve their grades and their test scores, and I believe it was the only public school in the Oklahoma City area that was mentioned yesterday. I also went there, so.
Should we have a pep rally? I mean,
Sure.
sure. Any comments from citizens? Seeing none, thank you. We're adjourned.